All right, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thomas Cavanna. I am an assistant research professor at the Fletcher School, and in the next 4 to 5 minutes, I'm going to introduce my course, Introduction to Nuclear Security, which I will teach during the spring of 2021. So here's the document, just a few slides that should give you an idea of where the course is going to go. So the first point that I wanted to mention is that revisions will apply at all levels compared to the video that you will see in the next few minutes and compared to the syllabus that you already have access to. There will be changes. However, if you like what you see on the video and if you like what you see on the temporary syllabus, you will probably like the course as it will be taught in January, because broadly speaking, there will not be major changes. There will be many changes, but not in the overall structure and content of the course. One quick point about the readings: the required readings as they will appear in the final syllabus will be lighter than in the temporary syllabus that you have access to at this point. There will be less required readings, it will be less overwhelming. So this is an important point to keep in mind. A few general points on the general direction of the course. First, it is an introduction course, which means that we are going to aim for general knowledge, the basic facts, basic concepts, the main scholarly debates, and we will try to be as comprehensive as possible. We will aim for the big picture. The course will be designed as a lecture, but there will be many discussions along the way, especially during our class meetings in real time. The course will include some historical elements, some theoretical insights, some strategic discussions, and also a policy relevant approach whenever appropriate. And finally, what I wanted to mention as well is that the course is designed to offer all of the points of view which exist on a given question. We will see that most of the questions associated with nuclear security are very hotly debated. Experts disagree on many of those questions. What I will try to do during the semester is to present you with a fair and balanced overview of the many arguments that exist on any single question that we will cover. So in the next few slides, I'm going to present you a brief outline of the semester. Once again, there will be changes, but that should give you a reasonably clear idea of where the course is going to go. During our first class meeting, we will introduce the course and we will discuss the end of the Second World War and the strategic and ethical dimensions of the use of nuclear weapons by the United States against Japan. Many debates, even today in 2020. During the second part of the semester, we'll talk about nuclear strategy during the Cold War. Class 2 will be dedicated to the onset of the superpowers arms race in the nuclear domain. We'll talk about the emergence of the field of nuclear strategy. Class 3 will be about horizontal proliferation, the emergence of new nuclear weapon states during the Cold War, and how the United States and the Soviet Union responded with the non-proliferation treaty and with arms control negotiations, among other things. The second part of the semester will be more specifically dedicated to theoretical questions. Class 4 will be about the dynamics of nuclear proliferation, and most importantly, the question, why do states build nuclear weapons? One of the most seminal questions of the field of nuclear security. During class 5, we'll talk about the international non-proliferation regime and its degree of success. During class 6, we'll talk about the impact of nuclear weapons on power dynamics and stability. To what extent does the possession of nuclear weapons make you more likely to seek peace or to seek war, to seek aggression or compromise, and so on. And finally, class 7 will be about the resistance to nuclear weapons, the many actors and forces that have resisted the development and the use of nuclear weapons, and how those actors and forces have tried to influence policymakers in the United States and beyond. The third part of the semester will be dedicated to the emergence of the second nuclear age in the post-Cold War era and the post-9/11 era. We'll talk about nuclear terrorism and to what extent the risk of nuclear terrorism should be taken seriously or should be seen as overblown. And we'll talk about America's nuclear primacy and the concerns that the modernization of America's nuclear triad has created in Russia and in China. During part 4 of the semester, we will develop a regional approach. First, we'll talk about East Asia, including North Korea, of course, but most importantly, the rise of the Chinese nuclear program and how the United States has responded. During class 11, we'll talk about nuclear challenges in the Middle East. That will include Iraq, Libya, and other would-be nuclear states, but that will most importantly include Iran, the Iran nuclear deal, and the prospects for a resumption of the deal in the future. Finally, we will have one class meeting about nuclear challenges in Europe, including Russia's nuclear strategy and how NATO has responded to Russia's nuclear ambitions. One thing that you can see on the slide is that there is no specific class meeting on South Asia. This is partly because I teach a course on nuclear proliferation in South Asia in another class, in another course, and because of space constraints. But what I wanted to emphasize here is that we will touch upon India and Pakistan's nuclear weapon programs at several points of the semester. So you will also become familiar with the programs of those two important states. Finally, in conclusion, we'll talk about the most salient questions in 2020, including President Trump's nuclear leadership and including the modernization of America's nuclear triad and the growing risk of a nuclear conflagration in South Asia and in other parts of the world. So thank you very much for watching this video. You can reach me at the following address, thomas.cavanna@tufts.edu, if you have questions in the next few weeks. And hopefully I will see you next semester. In all cases, best of luck for you for your spring semester. Thank you.